if there was going to be a book haul that was going to end my monthly book hauls, I think this is probably the one to do it. Before we dive into this massive 50 plus book haul, do me a favor, like this video and subscribe to the channel, as it does help the channel grow. You can check the description box down below for links to all of my social media, including information about my Discord and my Patreon if you want to help support the channel in a more substantial way. All that information is in the description box down below. With that out of the way, guys, I'm going to elaborate. Basically, 2025 is the year of read what I have. So after this book haul, I am anticipating not having more than a couple book hauls throughout the year, maybe 3 book hauls in total throughout 2025, including probably my birthday book haul, maybe the Christmas, and then a miscellaneous. And that's because I'm hiring a video editor here for the channel. And so all of my book funds are being allocated somewhere else. And so this is a massive book haul, but also like it's going to be the last one in a while. So we should probably just dive on in because it is going to be massive. Let's do, oh gosh, I've got over 50 books to talk about. I guess we should do the gifts first. So you guys were incredibly generous to me. I include my Amazon wish list in the description box down below, and people used it this month, and I'm just so incredibly appreciative that you guys would take the time to think of me and send me books and gifts and stuff like that. It means the world to me. Right off the bat, I've got right here Yumi and the Nightmare Painter, and you're going to notice a lot of Brandon Sanderson in the book haul. This was kindly sent to me by my good friend Patrick. He's a longtime patron, longtime friend here on BookTube, and I'm just incredibly grateful to now have Yumi in the collection. In fact, I think I've got all the Cosmere books now that I need except Sunlit Man, which I'll pick that up probably somewhere throughout the year once I get around to it, or maybe even the year after. I don't know. But Yumi is here. I actually like the standard edition. I like this art style. It's very cool. I like this pink and the kind of just, I don't know, the art style of this cover just works for me. I can't spend a whole lot of time on the books because this is going to take forever. I received Blood by Salt. This is J.L. Odom. And this is, I believe, from my good friend Fina from Fina Reads. She sent this over to me. And this was put on my radar by Tori from Tori Talks. She loved this book. She raved about this book. And so I was like, okay, this isn't any book I need to get into my hands. And here it is, thanks to Fina. So thank you so much for your generosity, your friendship, and this gift. It means the world to me. I can't wait to dive into this. It's just a gorgeous cover. And yes, right now I am filming on my phone because I want that kind of wider shot. And I'm not ready to spend $200 on a new lens for my camera to get it, especially for this book haul. But we'll probably go back to the regular camera after this book haul. But yes, right here, By Blood, by Salt. And then this big bad boy was sent to me by John from Talking Story. And he picked this up for me very kindly at Dragonsteel Nexus. This is a signed Wind and Truth. I can prove that it's a signed Wind and Truth here in a second. There we go. Gorgeous. Thank you so much, John, for this. I can't wait to reread this because I only got, you can see kind of where I'm at right now. This is currently on pause. I want to kind of revisit the Cosmere before I come back and tackle Wind in Truth and just give this a fair shake and come back in with adjusted expectations. But thank you so much, John, for sending me Wind in Truth. It will be cherished for many years to come. I got Don't Fear the Reaper, I believe Die Young, and Tress of the Emerald Sea. Basically, we did a Secret Santa over on a Discord server that I'm a part of that was built off of a readathon from 2 years ago from Shelf Space, and we all still hang out and talk together. And I believe these 3 are from my Secret Santa, and I think my Secret Santa was my patron Twainy. So thank you so much. Again, more Brandon Sanderson. We've got this Tress of the Emerald Sea. Again, I like the standard edition more than the Kickstarters. I don't know, this just looks cool. I've read this one. This is one of the few books in this book haul that I will have read. But Tress of the Emerald Sea is here. Thank you so much. We've got the Rorn Trilogy. I believe this was sent to me by Twainy. If not, feel free to correct me in the comments down below. But this is Die Young, the Rorn Trilogy. So this is a whole trilogy by Morgan Shank. It's just got some really awesome cover art. And then, of course, I then got Don't Fear the Reaper by Stephen Graham Jones, which My Heart as a Chainsaw will appear later in this book haul as well. But I am going to try and get into some Stephen Graham Jones here in the next couple of years. And so I've now got some books that I can dive into that with. So we've got that. All right. And then right here, I've got The King of Plagues. Oh, no, this is from my Secret Santa from Zeus. So I don't know who sent me Die Young. I feel like I've already said thank you in the DMs. Where did the slip go? I don't know. It's been chaos here. But this is from my Secret Santa. So this is from that Secret Santa. This is Jonathan Mayberry, The King of Plagues. This is Joe Ledger. I believe this is Joe Ledger number 4 or 5. Excuse me. Are you going to tell me? I don't know. This is one of the Joe Ledger books. And I just recently read the first Joe Ledger book, and I plan on continuing the series. So now I've got this on the shelf to do so. So there is that right there. Very, very good. A Whisper in the Dark. USA, Unholy Slaying Agency, book number 1. Again, I've gotten, I don't know who sent me Tress then. Did I buy Tress? Did I already say thank you? Thank you to whoever sent me Tress. This is, again, from that Secret Santa. I'm all mixed up. And I was like, I know I kept the slips. So yes, this is A Whisper in the Dark that sounds like an urban fantasy, almost in the same vein as Monster Hunters International or Joe Ledger. Almost like if you took those two and you merge them together, you get the USA Unholy Slaying Agency, book number 1. So thank you so much for that right there. Really, really cool cover. Like you can see the skull and the hands and the scream. Very, very cool. Oh, that's not even a skull. That's just a superimposed face. Ooh, that's scary. And then I've got Anthony Ryan's Fire Wings. Now this is funny because this is sent to me by my good friend Tori from Tori Talks. And essentially when she was here in town, we went to a bookstore and we saw this on the shelf. And she decided to snag it. And then the note basically said, well, since I took the copy when I was in town, I figured you should have a copy of your own. And she sent me this. So thank you so much, Tori. I love Anthony Ryan, and I can't wait to dive into this. Very, very cool. Then this has been recommended to me by multiple people. This is Greg Hurwitz, Orphan X. And this was sent to me take a look at this by my good friends Jake and Stacy. From the chapter Conundrum and from Jake, the bookish drummer. They like thrillers, and I've been told that this is a very good thriller. So thank you so much, Jake and Stacy. And I believe they sent me one of these as well. Yeah, I think they sent me Black Mouth as well by Ronald Malfi, which this was recommended by another one of my patrons, Doug, who also sent me this one, Come With Me. Doug sent me this one, so I've got 2 Ronald Malfis to check out. I hear he loves this author, and so I now have more horror to check out, which for me is always a good thing because it's a great, great palate cleanser. Okay, we've still got a stack of gifts to get through. My wife got me this. This is it's upside down. My wife got me this. This is Way of Kings Dragonsteel leather-bound edition. This has been all over BookTube. I'm not going to go ahead and take these out because it's going to take forever for me to get them back in, and the video will be 6 hours long. But thank you so much to my beautiful, amazing wife for sending me that. Or for giving me that, not sending it to me. She literally was just like, here you go. And then my family did a gift exchange, and this comes from my wife's aunt and my dad. So I got books 2, 3, and 4 of The Rise of the Automated Empire by Dennis M. Myers, and that is Stolen Dreams for book number 4, Broken Trust for book number 3, and Precipice for book number 2. And I already have book number 1 on the shelf, so that completes this series for me to check out. This is probably my next indie sci-fi read. I have been hearing about Dennis for a while now, and I have talked with him, and he is a lovely, lovely individual. I then got book number 3 of Will of the Wayfinder. I've done a review for book number 1, Dreams of Dust, which I really, really enjoyed. And I now have Lament of Frost by Lily Ann Crow. Still need to read book number 2, but now I have it for when I've got that. And that was sent to me by my mother-in-law, actually. That was a stocking stuffer. And then my dad got me Robert McCammon's 7 Shades of Evil. This is Matthew Corbett. It is a short story collection. That's what this one is. This is a short story collection that fills in some gaps. Very excited to have this on the shelf. And I also got Demon's Tear by R.E. Sanders. I'm about 6% into this one. I started it randomly, and I was having a really good time with it, and I wanted to have a physical copy. So now I have that. Very, very cool. Okay, those are the gifts out of the way, and then the stuff that I bought. And so off of Pango, I really enjoyed Repairman Jack, but I had some gaps because I just bought a random lot off of YouTube. Not off of YouTube, off of eBay. There we go. I bought it off of eBay, and I wanted to have fill in those gaps. So I got Conspiracies, All the Rage, and Crisscrosses, and that should give me all of the Repairman Jacks up to, I believe, book number 9 right there. So I've got these in mass market paperback, and I cannot wait to continue more. That is not the last F. Paul Wilson you shall see. A pre-order that I made all the way back in April finally came through. This is Anthony Ryan's The Road of Storms. This is book number 6 of the Seven Swords series. I still need to read this one, but this is the only one I haven't read yet, so I'm excited to dig into that. Although I am about 20 pages into it, I have snuck a peek at it. I found at a Half Price Books a battered copy of Raymond E. Feist's Fairy Tale. This is a fantasy standalone, and I am wanting to get into fantasy standalones, so I decided to go ahead and pick this one up. Because why not? I like Raymond E. Feist, and a standalone is never a bad thing. Another Kickstarter came through. I got book number 4 in the Collation Saga. This is Dread Knight by Andrew D. Meredith. This is the Kickstarter edition. I believe this is signed. It is signed and fantastic. Next up, this one's a little bit of a personal buy. This one I did buy. I reached out to the author. This, if you remember from last year, if you've been watching since last year, I had a close friend and patron pass away. And she uploaded a couple YouTube videos where she was kind of doing some book vlogging and stuff like that. And I was recently, like the Christmas season, like around the 1-year anniversary of her passing, I was watching the videos looking for recommendations or just to kind of hear her voice, I guess I should say. But in that video, she did recommend Patience of a Dead Man by Michael Clark. Now, I was like, oh, I remember talking to her saying I was going to read that. And so when I went to go buy it, I realized Patience of a Dead Man had been unpublished. And the author had basically compiled all 3 books into this. This is The Legend of Mildred Wells. It has been condensed down. It's been re-edited and really tightened up. And this is supposed to be the definitive edition of that story that my friend Sharon really, really loved. And so I decided to go ahead and pick this up and basically have it in my collection so that when the mood strikes me, I can fulfill the promise of saying, yeah, I'll read that series that Sharon really, really loved. So I decided to go ahead and pick this up. And then, not to be too much of a downer. But again, I was at Half Price Books multiple times in the last month, and I got more books. They happen to have The Silver Blood Promise by James Logan. This is The Last Legacy, number 1. It's not high priority, but at the same time, it was like $4, and I was like, okay, sure, why not? I'll add that to my list. I know the sequel's getting ready to come out, so I decided to pick this one up. Then we've got 2 Stephen Graham Jones. We've got The Only Good Indians. This is the paperback, and then My Heart is a Chainsaw. And like I said, I've been wanting to get into Stephen Graham Jones, so these were easy pickups. I know my friend Leslie over at The Nerdy Narrative really loves Stephen Graham Jones. I believe my friend Evie from She Was Only Evie also really enjoys Stephen Graham Jones, so I have picked these up. And then my buddy Nico has been kind of like clearing out his Sanderson collection other than his leather bounds, and he was getting rid of Era 2. And I was just like, oh, are you getting rid of Era 2? I'll go ahead and pick those up. So this is Brandon Sanderson, Mistborn Era 2. I have read all of these. We've got The Lost Metal in hardcover, The Bands of Mourning, Alloy of Law, and Shadows of Self. I do need to do a reread of these, and I did buy them with the intention of rereading them, so I now have those on my shelf. And then speaking of half-price books, yet again, I can't believe I found these at half-price books. I went in to kind of get rid of my Pango stock, and I was just like, what am I going to find? I usually don't find a whole lot of much, and when I do find this series, it's always destroyed. And I was able to find, I almost said Long Press Quartet, which is the other series this author does. This is Dagger and Coin by Daniel Abraham. And we've got Spider's War, The Widow's House, Tyrant's Law. This is the whole series. The King's Blood, and The Dragon's Path, all in almost unread condition, which was one heck of a cool pickup. I can't believe I was able to pick that up. I've been really wanting to check that out because I heard like there's something about like spiders in the blood or in the veins of like some of the character, and I was like, that sounds wild. So I needed to check that out. And then these I picked up. I may buy additional better versions because these are all beat to crap. But I've been wanting to read more Tad Williams here lately, and I needed Shadow March. And so I picked up the Shadow March series in hardcover. We've got Shadow March Volume 1 by Tad Williams with that gorgeous Michael Whelan cover art. We've got Shadow Heart, which is the final novel. I don't know why I'm doing this out of order. Big book. And then we've got Shadow Rise, which I believe is book number 3, and Shadow Play. So I've picked those up. I think this is more like high society elves at the height of their power or something like that. I don't know. I've been meaning to read Shadow March for at least going on 15 years at this point. I've been aware of this series for a long time, and I just have never made the time for it, which I believe I'm starting that series in February with some people in the Discord. And then, Black Friday, I went to Barnes & Noble, and I picked up a stack of books. Right here, we've got Chuck Wendig's Black River. I've been wanting to pick this up ever since like I started buying Chuck Wendig. I don't know, this one just sounds really cool. Plus, like, look at the apple. It's got like a skull in it. That's just really dope. So I picked this up there. A kind gentleman that I was talking to in the section was just like, oh, I've read Road of Bones, and it's actually really good by Christopher Golden. He's like, it's fitting for the season because it's set in like Serbia. So I went ahead and picked this up. It's really short. I also picked this one up on Audible for the Audible sale. I'm not going to cover everything that I got from the Audible sale because a lot of it was stuff that was already on my shelf. I just wanted to get the audiobooks as well. But I did buy the audio of this one as well. I picked up The Best of Richard Matheson by, well, Richard Matheson. I guess that is kind of self-explanatory. I don't know why I'm over-explaining this, but I picked this up based on recommendations from John from Talking Story. It's a lot thinner than I thought it was going to be. And then I picked this up. This is The Beast You Are by Paul Tremblay. This was all in the horror section, but I'm very excited to check this out because, frankly, it's got just an awesome cover. So this was my mini haul from Barnes & Noble. Barnes & Noble? Was that Black Friday? I don't know. I don't know what's going on anymore. I don't know who I am. I don't know where I'm at. Time is an illusion. I then also, you've seen this appear in many videos, but I read the Amityville Horror last month, and I picked up the Sun Tup Press edition of the Amityville Horror. It is slipcased, it is gorgeous, and I love this illustrated edition of the Amityville Horror. It was a lot of fun to read, and I read this in about 1 or 2 sittings, so very good book. If you're looking for a good haunted house stories, that is where it is at. And then I also read Tailchaser Sewing by Tad Williams. This is the Grim Oak Press edition that I was able to get off of Facebook. I messaged somebody, and this was at a very reasonable price. This is I believe, a proof copy. This isn't one of the numbered ones. It is still signed, but it is not numbered. And this is Tailchaser Song about Freddy Tailchaser. I have read this one. I really enjoyed Tad Williams' writing, and I've been meaning to check this one out for a while. It's not one that I was going to prioritize, and then I saw my buddy Nico interviewed the author, and I was like, okay, fine, I'll read it. I did read it. I enjoyed it, and I picked up this edition of it, which is just absolutely stunning. So I've got that on the shelf. And then I've got, well, basically 3 more things to show you. I decided to accept an arc of Dark Rising, and this is from Pitstone Publishing. It's got some stickiness going on the spine there. I'll have to clean that up. This is by John Nassery right here. This is a dark fantasy, and Gervin aspires to follow his uncle's solitary footsteps, yet his future veers off course when a dream entangles his fate with a forest tribe ravaged by demons. Led by a rogue traveler, Crane has long schemed to merge his nightmarish realm with the waking world. Already this sounds like a very compelling dark fantasy, so I decided to add this to my collection to read hopefully sometime in 2025. So we've got that there. They were aggressive with the glue for that spine. Whew, okay. And then we have got, of course, another Sanderson. And I found on Pango Books, at a relatively good price, Warbreaker. It is pre-owned, it is used, it's got some nicks, it's got some dings, but Warbreaker is the one that, like, while I didn't love the initial reading experience, it stayed with me and I thought about it for a long time after I finished reading it. So I decided to go ahead and pick up the purple and gold edition of the Dragonsteel Warbreaker. I absolutely love this edition, and I've been meaning to pick it up for a long time now. Is that a ding? Or no, that's just some schmutz right there on the cover. And then the final thing that I picked up, ooh, and this just came in. This I bought with Christmas money. This was something that I've had my eyes on for a little bit. And you can see right here, this is the Adversary Cycle by F. Paul Wilson. And the spines are right here. This is by Borderlands Press. And this is all 6 books of the Adversary Cycle. These are signed and numbered. I'll try and get them out. They are kind of tightly wedged in here. Ooh, okay, here we go. So we've got right here, we've got The Keep by F. Paul Wilson. And these are leather bound. They are signed and numbered. This is set number 310. This is The Last Rikoshi, I believe, right here. And this is actually The Tomb, which I have read by F. Paul Wilson. It was renamed as Rikoshi, which was its original name when he was first writing it. We've got The Touch, Reborn, Reprisal, and finally we have got, ooh, come here. Yeah, you didn't want to come out. Night World. And I believe this is also the last Repairman Jack novel, so I now own that as well in a special edition. That is my Christmas holiday / December book haul. Where am I going to put that slipcase? It's a really cool slipcase too, by the way. Like, let me just show you that. It's like leather and it's got this art on the side. It's just really dope. This is an out of control book haul. This is probably going to be the last book haul of its size for a long time, because I'm also, while allocating my book funds other places, I'm out of room because I bought so many books and was gifted so many books by you guys. So I am anticipating not doing another book haul until March of 2025. But let me know what you guys picked up in December. I hope you're doing well. I hope you got some amazing books. I hope that you are just enjoying some amazing reads. And that's all I've really got for you today, guys. So till next time, peace out, stay magical, bye. And as always, I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons. Thank you for supporting my passion and my hobby. It means the world to me.